The Ape Man behind the roadblock.
This happened nearly 8 years ago, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. I was walking with my mother around 10 p.m. It was a summer's evening and we were trying to get some air as it was a scorching day and the house was way too hot. I decided to walk with her down the road, around the roadblock to get onto a nice path. This was along a normally busy road. However, it was quiet at the time. I crossed with her to the other side of the road where the roadblock was. To the side of some cement barriers ahead was a small forest-like area in front of a large property, not belonging to the owners. Mind you, it was pitch black and there was only a streetlight about 100 feet away. We cross over and I hear a really odd sound. Red flags went off and I felt my heart sink deep into my chest. "Mom, did you hear that?" She didn't say anything, but I saw the worry and confusion in her eyes. She said, "Turn around, we're going back." What we heard was a deep growl, something short but fierce. It continued a couple times and we quickly turned around. I started running, but she couldn't run due to health issues. I turned around after a short sprint and saw, I kid you not, a large black figure on all fours creep up from behind the barrier we were at seconds prior. I started sweating really bad and almost shit myself. "Mom, what the hell was that? Run, please." She started to speed walk and I watched as the figure got up on 2 legs and jumped into the forest. This thing looked like a man in some sort of gorilla suit. We booked it home and decided to just open the windows for fresh air that night. We never came across anything like that in our area again, but deeper into the mountain area of the city, there was an Ape Man reportedly masturbating and exposing himself to women who would run on the trail. Gorilla Man, let's not meet ever again.
Starfish Creeper.
When I was 16, I broke up with my high school boyfriend. You know, the one you date from like day 1 of high school and break up with and then get back together off and on for all 4 years. During one of our breakup phases, a guy contacted me online and it seemed like a random encounter and he was into all of the things I happened to be into. It was great. The first red flag should have been that he was about 25 years old, looking to date a 16-year-old, but I was ridiculously naive. We met up a few times over the course of a month and would hang out, and by hang out I mean he would park his car, I couldn't drive yet, in the Walmart parking lot and talk. At the time, this was kind of fun. Looking back, it's clear he didn't want to be seen in public with a teenager. To absolutely clarify, nothing outside of talking was happening between us. After the first week, he became super clingy, and my friend and I nicknamed him Starfish from the Charlie the Unicorn videos because the starfish would scream, "Starfish really loves you." I also started to avidly avoid him because my creep meter was finally kicking in, and my ex and I were talking again. Unsolicited advice, just stay broken up. While I'm at my ex's place, one of our mutual friends, Cam, calls me and informs me that right after my high school boyfriend and I broke up, Cam and my ex had a gaming sleepover. During this sleepover, Cam took underage sexually suggestive photos of me from my ex's phone and put them online. basically soliciting me for a new boyfriend while my ex slept. The guy he got in touch with was Starfish. Cam then proceeded to tell Starfish everything I liked and how best to approach me. I immediately called Starfish to confront him with this new information, and he immediately admitted it. So, Starfish and Cam, let's not meet again.
Woman and man in the van.
I'm not much of a writer and I'm on mobile, so please forgive the formatting. I've been reading through these stories and remembered something that happened to my sister and I when we were younger. So, for some backstory, my sister and I were born prematurely. We are fraternal twins, and we've always been very small. While I was more physically sickly than my sister, she was born with autism. I think due to these ailments brought upon by our circumstances at birth, my mother was very overprotective of us. We had a rocky start. My biological father was a nutcase, so after my mom escaped with us from him, we moved around a lot. By the time I was 5, I think, we settled down in our own house with a shiny, new dad. Things were great. We lived in a very rural town and all of the neighbors were so friendly. Now, due to my mom's paranoia, she absolutely hammered her fears into her children. We were barely allowed to go into our own backyard, which has a 6-foot-tall chain-link fence. When we figured out how to ride bikes some years later, we could only ride about 3 houses down in either direction while she watched from the front lawn. So while we were able to play outside, we never felt free to play, if that makes sense. I guess after so long, my mom knew enough of the neighbors that if they saw us, they'd call her and say, "Your daughters just went past my house." So she let us have a 3-block radius to ride our bikes. It was so liberating. We laughed a lot, ran amok, and we really felt like little rebels. We didn't know Mom had neighborhood eyes watching us everywhere we went. It was getting late one day, close to sunset, when I decided it was time to head home. We were at our 3rd-block limit, and I was afraid of the dark. I think we had to be about 12 years old because we were so small, we looked like we were 8 or 9. We had stopped at a stop sign and we were chatting about nonsense when a white van pulled up. A man and a woman smiled at us, and the woman leaned forward. "Hi girls, we lost our puppy. Could you help us find him? We're so worried about him." My mom's warning surged into my head, and I remember kind of freezing. My sister looked at me, almost in tears about the puppy. Her autism made her an easy target for people, and I was having none of that today. I kind of politely declined and said, "Come on, sister." The people started to yell at us after we pedaled away. My sister was sobbing and pissed off at me, but she didn't go anywhere without me. And we got home and I ushered us inside. I told my mother everything in a shaky voice, and she told us we did well. I don't know if those people were trying to take us, or if they were really looking for a lost dog. I don't think this is a scary experience per se, but it's the only thing I can remember and thought I'd share. So, couple in the van, let's not meet again.